चली रे जुनू खोलिए कतरा कतरा लम्हों को पिए पिंजरे से उड़ा दिल का शिकरा खुदी से मैंने इश्क किया जिया जिया रे जिया रे जिया जिया रे जिया रे जिया जिया रे जिया रे जिया हो जिया रे जिया रे जिया जिया रे जिया रे जिया जिया रे जिया रे जिया हो
Wow, claps.
यार आज तक मैंने ऐसे गाना नहीं गाया टीवी पे पहली बार आपके लिए गाना गाया मैंने
Thank you. I'm very obliged. That was Manasavi, the former Miss India World, the gorgeous actress.
Thank you, you are so sweet, thank you.
Okay, first of all, let's begin with asking. You've worked with both Ajay Devgan and Kajol.
Yes.
I want to know how different or similar are they on the sets?
You know, I would say कि बहुत दोनों similar हैं. Because they're not just like actors, they're like legends, like superstars. Matlab, they come from families that have been in films for generations. So I always say that they're institutions in themselves, they're not just actors. And I feel जब आप इतने बड़े level पे होते हो ना तो they have no ego. They're so approachable, they're so nice and so supportive on this set कि आपको लगता है कि ये ना अजय देवगन है काजोल है पता नहीं क्या होगा and आप set पे जाते हो घबरा के कि oh my god कि you know but they're very sweet, they're very approachable, so professional, great energy, they're both very मजाकिया set पे तो बहुत सारी similarities हैं actually.
No differences?
Differences what are the differences I'm trying to think. I feel there are more similarities than differences. But Ajay Devgan is the action star. I feel like Kajol is the more romantic, more sweeter, comedy. Yeah.
But I've heard that Ajay Devgan, he's known for doing pranks on sets. How true or false is that?
I think both of them. Yeah, Ajay was very. You know, we were in Action Jackson, and yeah, he was a lot of fun, and he is a prankster. Abhi काफी time हो गया है, so I don't know like you know what's how is he to work now. But at that time we had tremendous fun, and we shot a lot outside in Bangkok and stuff as well.
Also, coming back to Kajol, and you said she's playing your lawyer in the trial, which is what you're here for.
Yeah.
So tell me, you have this very intense part, which is very crucial and very prominent in the story. So when you play, like you play Juhi Bhatia, and when such roles come to you, what like how is the process like? Because this is very intense. So are you like switch on, switch off? Because many actors say that they have this process. What is your process?
I had switch on, switch off. Matlab, see, because this is actually inspired from like a real incident that happened. So luckily, I had a lot of material to see from online, from news, and so for me to build the character was easier because this was something, and I also coincidentally knew both of the people that are involved in the that this is inspired from. So in that way, you know, there was a lot to see, to be able to prepare. I think because the cast, the director Suparan, he's so amazing to work with. They were very supportive. So ऐसा नहीं था कि you know, yes, obviously while researching the character, I could feel the pain, like what she must have gone through, and like you know, she went through this whole media trial, which my character goes through. So I felt the pain a lot. But by the time I came on the set, you know. Things were affecting me slightly lesser because because I had prepared for it for a while, and by the time I came on set, it was fairly easier because you know we had some preps and you know I spoke to the director, so it was very smooth on the set.
Like you said, you knew both the people that were involved. So did you like while this was all happened, did you reach out to her? Like, Ria?
I didn't reach out to her, but coincidentally, while I was shooting in Mumbai, I happened to meet her at like one or two events.
Okay.
So it was interesting. No, जब मैं shooting like last year when I came here, I was shooting. So it was a coincidence that while I was shooting, I interacted with Ria, who it's kind of inspired from. I would say not entirely based on. So I met her, and she's as lovely as always. So like even though she's gone through this whole thing, she retains her beauty and like her humility and her her aura. So she hasn't it hasn't let her down. Like she's very strong. So I think that was very nice to see that somebody who's gone through all of this, लगता नहीं उनको देख के कि like अभी भी कि उनको देख के कि she went through all of this. It's very inspiring to see that she's very strong girl.
Yeah.
And I hope I did justice to the character.
You did. I have seen it, and she's done justice. Oh my. Yeah. But having said that, like your character, despite being righteous, despite no fault of hers, she eventually gave in.
Yeah.
So, but the one which inspires, as you said, she's very strong.
Yes.
Yeah. So, is there any message that you would like to give out to someone who's going through the similar story?
Be like Ria, don't be like don't be like don't be like Juhi. There's always hope, and look at how strong Ria has emerged from this incident. Very proud of how she's handled things. So yeah, that itself is inspiring for somebody to like come out of that and still have her head held high and like being able to go through all of that. So that itself is something to look up to.
Yes. Speaking of crucial roles. You represented India.
Yes.
Yeah. In 2010.
Yes.
On Miss World pad. Yeah. So do you still feel like how is that feeling? Is it still so surreal? And do you feel that that was the best moment so far in your life?
It was definitely special. I feel like I've lived a very interesting life. Like sometimes I feel I've lived like many lives because I've not just acted. I was in modeling. Before that, I was like in arts. I've done theater. I've lived outside. I've been in the pageants. I also do real estate in Los Angeles. I've been in political advocacy for like the Indian community. So I feel I've lived many lives. And that definitely was a very, very special moment. Also, they say once you're a Miss India, you're always a Miss India. So it's going to stick with me till like, till a very, very long time. I won't say till I die, but for a very, very long time. Abhi bhi like people call me Miss India. Even outside people, it's kind of like a calling card.
Yeah.
So yes, I would say it's a very special memory, and also having done that when I was very young. I was in my early 20s when I became Miss India and then went to Miss World. And especially exposure, it gives you confidence. And something that I don't know if people know, I was one of the first. My talent round was very strong, so I was selected in the top 8 of the Miss World dances. Yeah. So in my time, I opened the Miss World finale show. Yeah. So I think that was very special. And I grew up as a dancer and a performer, and stage is my first love. So being able to open the Miss World show on stage with an Indian dance from my favorite, one of my favorite directors, Sanjay Bhansali sir, on his dance, and this iconic song from Madhuri Dixit, Kahe Chhed Chhed Moye. So that was that moment I think was the most special moment of the Miss World, to be able to do that dance and represent India and the culture and the dance and all of that in that Ritu Kumar costume. That was the most special moment.
And I see your mom is here. Yeah. So during that phase, like or till now, has she been that one constant person, the biggest cheerleader that you have?
Absolutely, cheerleader, and also like my biggest critic. But it's kind of pushed me. I feel like I was talking to somebody. It's like Indian parents are always a little tough. Like South Asian parents are always a little tough. We all know it.
She was stricter.
Everybody. I'm sure your parents were strict too, right? Number one on
it. Very cool.
She is, but like I feel like, but now that I've lived outside India, I feel like Asian parents always push their kids. They want us to be like achievers. They want us to be like whatever. Which is the best. And it gives you that, it makes you ambitious, makes you very competitive, and makes sure that you excel in life.
You represented country not just during the Miss India pageant, but also for skating, as you said. Yeah.
I was a skating. So this is something that I've always aspired in life, I always like trying different things. I don't like being stuck to one thing. Like, I don't want to only just act or only just model. I've always been like doing arts and skating and theater and like, you know, painting and science and, you know, all these things. So, and I was good in a lot of those things, and skating was one of them. So I was actually growing up, I grew up in the state of Haryana, and I was actually my state champ.
So was it always this like easy, or like as we see, because from the outer person's perspective, it always looks easy.
It's never easy. It's never easy. Like, nothing is easy. Especially the entertainment industry is brutal. I'm really very honest. It's very brutal. You don't know when your next assignment's going to come, if it's going to do well, if the box office is going to tank, which is what happened in my first movie. Like, we all expected that movie to do 200, 300 crores, but it tanked. So, like, you know, it's very, and bahar se bahut wo dikhta hai, it's glitz and glamour, and it is. I'm not going to deny, you know, it is very shiny. You know, you go to red carpets and you're at an event and you all these famous people. It is. Parts of it are very glamorous, but parts of it are very, like, you know, there's a lot of struggle, there's a lot of uncertainty. To be able to have your mental and emotional sanity is very hard in this industry. So I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's not been all like it's not been all roses and like whatever. It's been a fair amount of struggle. It's been a fair amount of uncertainty. But it's a part of when we, as artists, I think that's what it is. Like, I think a lot of art comes from chaos and uncertainty and struggle. So I think that's where a lot of art comes from.
Yeah. We spoke about struggles, but how does a normal day look like in Manasavi's life?
Every day is different, you know, and that is the part. It's one of the parts of like entertainment industry. Kabhi you're shooting all night, kabhi you're shooting all day. But there are times when months ke liye you don't have a job and you don't have assignments. Those days you just have to like still work on what I say, your life force. You know, your health and your friends and your mindset, and you know, do a lot of self-care. So like. You know, an actor's job is sometimes also to take care of themselves when you don't have a job.
Yes. Also, now you have, like, let's talk about your life. Like, you moved your base in LA. How's LA's life like?
It's a place that I feel I grow a lot in. You know, it's definitely more advanced. You know, here in India, we're still developing, and you know, we are developing in like leaps and bounds. But America is kind of already developed. You know, there's a set life. So I feel like as a person, I grow a lot there, especially. You know, in the last few years, I've been training myself in acting. I've been training myself in learning how to make films, like as a producer. So I feel there's a lot of growth that happens in the US. It's definitely more advanced.
Okay, so before wrapping up, I'd like to know.
Yeah, dance mat kara dena. Singing to kara di.
No, there's no dancing. I just want to know, since you have achieved so much, do you still have that knack? Like, it's not enough. Like at this moment, I want to do more.
वो तो कभी भी नहीं होगा. वो तो
So what is one thing that you have in your bucket list? Be it working with certain director, be it working with certain actor.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be some bucket list. What's there?
I would really love to be able to bridge Hollywood with like the Indian film industry to Hollywood and make some projects that kind of cross, you know, borders and cross the countries. Because abhi, you know, I'm thinking like there are already 2 films that, you know, were a craze at the Oscars, and more things are happening. So I think that would be a dream, or that would be something very interesting if I'm able to do something that kind of connects like the 2 countries together, and that would be something aspirational to do.
Okay, before wrapping up, just tell fans why they should go and really watch the trial, because you're so good in it. But I want you to tell them too.
Listen, I think trial, obviously, like, you know, Kajol ma'am is like extraordinary, and Suparn is like an amazing director. So not just that, but I feel like the kind of issues that every episodes deal with, like people can resonate. You know, एक तो आपके साथ probably, you know, daily ये चीजें होती हैं, you can resonate with that, but also the kind of like issues that or the cases that Kajol is fighting, they're like prominent issues that kind of hold a mirror to the society. So you will also, it's also very self-reflective, or like a reflective of the society, that oh, this is what happened, and you see the other side of the story. So I feel it's a very relevant show to watch. much in today's time. And obviously there's like amazing actors and amazing star cast and amazing storytelling, and it's kind of inspired from the show The Good Wife, which is like a super hit like Hollywood show. So it'll exceed your expectations.
That was Manasavi. Thank you so much for joining us. Lovely talking to you.
Same.